Good morning, everybody. How was your weekend? Let's see who's in here. Hello, Outlaw Trucker. Hello, Okie Mama. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Katie. Hello, Just Me. Hi, Todd. Hello, Kat. Hi, Holly. Let's see who else we got in here. Hello, that one, Ginger. Hi, Melissa. Hello, What Big Eyes. Hi, Phoenix. Hi, Bedtime Clown. Hey, thank you for the email you sent, Bedtime Clown. That was awesome. Hello, Deb. If I missed somebody, forgive me. Hello, Vicky. Hi, Ro. Hi, Christy. Hi, Casey. Hi, Teresa. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I apologize, and I'm sure I'll catch you through the show. Hi, Sky. So, just going to give a forewarning. Our electricity is going in and out today. We had a tornado last night. And the battery on the modem that we have lasts about 5 minutes. So if the electricity goes out, I know they're working on the power lines in my area, then we'll just have to come back and continue the show later when they get everything totally restored. Oh, really, Okie? You too? Yeah, it was bad. Here, I'll put a couple pictures up. Now, these aren't my pictures, but just some pictures that are floating around. Hang on. Well, everyone's getting settled. Yeah, that was just the hail damage outside of Oklahoma City. Like the hail was like, oh my gosh, in some areas it was like softball size. I mean, we don't know how big they were yet because they haven't assessed all the damage yet, but there's a lot of damage. So besides that, we just watched football. Anybody watch football this weekend? Because let me tell you, well, the NFL really disappointed me, but the college games were great this weekend. Yeah, there's another one. I mean, that hail was so big, it was just crashing windows, windshields. Yeah, it was nuts. Bedtime Clown. How about them Cowboys? Well, I'd like to say how about them Chiefs, but can't quite say that, can we? Yeah, Outlaw Trucker, yeah. I know there's a lot of damage at a school not too far from us. Yeah, it was bad. So like I said, just forewarning, if the electricity goes off, it's only going to keep me on here for maybe like 5 minutes because it runs off the battery on the modem. But, we'll be back. All right, let me bring Kevin B up, see how his weekend went. Bedtime Clown. I'm a little upset with Patrick Mahomes, but we're not going to get into that today. Hello, my friend. What's going on?
Good morning. So you had tornadoes.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't know how many there were altogether.
Did they find Candace under a house with the ruby slippers on?
No Candace. No Candace.
What a bummer. Oh, yeah. What's the deal with the tornadoes? I had one. Now you have one. Wow.
Well, in Oklahoma, they're pretty common. You know what I mean? So we're used to them, and we sleep through them half the time. Believe it or not.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you can. Boy, that one that came through here, it wasn't even, F. I can't imagine being in an F5.
Those are bad. Now, those will make you get out of bed. Those will make you get out of bed.
Yeah, literally. Ours was probably, was at least an F1. I can't imagine a 5. A tornado that's 5. I don't know how many miles wide. That would be so terrifying.
They're bad. They are bad when they get that big. Not gonna lie.
Because
Any
the
of the
one that
open-
we had, my ass went to the basement. You know, but the hail is, you know, it was hitting our windows. I'm surprised our windows didn't bust.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the pictures I put up.
Yeah, I
but
did.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yep.
It is. So Chris McDonough got his channel back. Good
Woohoo!
news, but we know a few people are pretty PO'd about that.
Yep. I'm not even gonna mention them, but there's two channels that probably are really pissed off.
I don't know why they would be, because he's never accused Don or Candace of anything.
Right. I know one for sure. They had a live and they were talking about it. So.
Well, we knew he was going to get his channel back. He didn't do anything wrong.
Nope. You know, and I commented to a lot of people, if it wasn't for Chris McDonough, we would not know half the stuff about Summer's parents. And in my opinion, Chris McDonough is the one that got the ball rolling.
Yeah. Well, and you know, with that being said, people have been trolling Don's Facebook. You know, they're saying things to him. Hey, Chris McDonough was right. Good will prevail. He's got his channel back. Don't think that Don doesn't look at every comment that he has out there.
Hey, can you imagine being Don and Candace every day? I don't even know how he could work, because every day I could just, they have to be looking at all these comments and crap that's said about them so that they can try to turn it around and control the narrative.
The only one trying to run the show is Don, and it's not working in his favor. He needs to just not say a word, in my opinion. If he wasn't there and he was at work, then there's nothing to talk about, Don. What you need to be doing is talking to your wife, saying, now what happened? Because none of this makes sense. Even the dumbest person on the planet knows Candace's stories don't add up.
And I've been saying it for months. Don has to talk because he has to control the narrative. First of all, we all know he's a narcissist. And he's such a bad one. He cannot stand somebody with a leg up on him. So he's got to like battle everything. And he's doing a pitiful job as far as I'm concerned.
He's not convincing. He's not convincing anyone.
No. Yeah.
So on the next token, we heard over the weekend that Don and Candace are supposed to be going to Hollywood.
Oh, God.
To do the Dr. Phil show. Now, I heard they recorded this last Tuesday, but Don was on WJHL last Tuesday. Of course, that could have been a pre-recorded interview. I don't know. For those of you that are familiar with the Dr. Phil show, Dr. Phil sees through everything 9 times out of 10. He's going to want them in rehab. He is going to want them in rehab. He is going to have a lot of questions about her different stories. He's going to have a lot of questions on why they truly lost the boys. It's not going to be the interview that Don wants.
I don't think he'll touch it.
No.
In my opinion. I mean, because look at the backstory on these pathetic parents. Look, you know, I just don't think that after, you know, he finds out everything that they've done, I don't even think he'd be better off going to Jerry Springer.
Ooh, that would be a good episode, actually.
Yeah.
Too bad Geraldo doesn't have a show anymore. They'd be perfect on Geraldo.
Too bad I can't question him.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I'd love to just do a Q&A with Don and Candace. I'll ask you a question, you answer it. You can ask me a question, I'll answer it like a debate. No arguing, no bashing, Just straight up questions.
Hmm.
That's what I'd love to see.
Well, I mean, Don is not going to let them get away with their addiction. He's
Nope.
he's going to have something set up for them. They don't want to get better. They don't want to end their Tuesday night hoot nannies that they have. They don't want to end that. And people have messaged the Dr. Phil show. They've messaged the page, and everyone has gotten the same response who has gotten a response. They don't have them on the schedule. They're actually getting ready to go back to reruns.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I do not think Dr. Phil would even do Don and Candace. Really. I don't think he would. I mean, Candace should have went to rehab or whatever, or been arrested. How many years ago? How many years has she had kids?
Over 20.
Yeah, why in the hell isn't she gone to jail for a neglect? I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, you're right, Phoenix. I don't think Dr. Phil's going to have him on there. I think
Hell
this is
no.
something Don made up because he's heard so many YouTubers saying, why don't you go on Dr. Phil, Don? Just like the Petito family did. So Don can't handle that. So he's like, oh, we're going on Dr. Phil. Really?
Yep.
No.
Yeah, and how did he handle John Walsh? The John Walsh thing? He asked Dog the bounty hunter. You know?
Well, I mean, look at his face on the behavioral panel when he mentioned John Walsh, and they said, you should reach out to John Walsh. He's a really good guy and can help you. Do you think he'll ever do it? Nope.
Well, I don't think so at all.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, he'll stay 50 million miles away from John Walsh.
No, anyone that can truly help them,
Right.
they're going to stay way away from. Because Lady Love, that is passed out in the recliner, she can't give a straight answer or keep a straight story. They will tear her apart. Even the dumbest person in the universe would know.
And why does Don have all the answers? He wasn't home that day, remember? He was supposedly at work. Mm-hmm. Candace and Grandma were there. Mm-hmm. So what? It's time for Candace to talk.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to get to that. So Don, like I said, he's reaching out again. After the potty episode, he went radio silent, but he's back. And he's back with a vengeance. He is on the behavioral panel, talking to the Knoxville News, talking to WJHL, back on Facebook. He's got a new Facebook. So he put this up. I love my kids with all my heart. And now someone has stolen the most precious person in my entire life. We're so heartbroken. Who's the most precious person in your entire life? You have 6 kids, Don. Candace has 6 kids. So one child's more important than the others? I don't know. Why are they trying so hard to destroy what's left? What do you mean what's left? All that's left is you and Candace. No one cares about you. We want you held accountable for whatever happened the afternoon of June 15th. We've worked hard for what little we have. Tried our best to keep our children in church and school. Why do they hate?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Why can't they love? Go ahead, Kevin. Why can't they love?
First of all, we've worked hard for what we have.
No,
How about spending less money on drinking and drugs and fix your frickin' house up? That'd be a novel idea.
Mm-hmm.
And why can't what was that? Best to keep our children in church and school. Hang on. Why do they hate? Why can't they love? You mean, is he saying, why can't we love them?
Yeah, why can't we love them? Why the hate? Why not love them? Because
I'd love to kick his ass.
I don't think that's the love he's talking about.
Yeah, that's about as far as my love goes for them too.
That's
You
that's
know?
not the love he's talking about, my friend.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in jail.
I love this. We've worked
I'd
hard.
love you to tell us where your daughter is.
That'd be great. Candace, what happened that day? I like this. We've worked hard for what little we have. Was he not just talking to the behavioral panel saying him and Candace moved from Arkansas to Tennessee because his mom had MRSA and she died and gave him the house and the property? Worked hard for what? They gave it to you, dude. They gave it to you. You got a Subaru. Is that what you're talking about? It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
So Candace can look good in her new red Subaru with a red hoodie on. Why don't you take that $600 a month and spend it on cleaning your house and you're taking care of your kids?
Speaking of, the video we watched on Friday, we'll look at it again here in a minute. And we're going to go over the video again that we talked about on Friday, the interview he did with Knoxville News. We're going to slow it down and go over it again because we were running out of time and there's more to absorb in that video. But the video that he took, which was supposedly going to be some kind of trailer for the Dr. Phil show, which I don't believe at all. It looked like besides the mattress and the refrigerator that we saw later, that they had done some cleaning up. Now, we know that they didn't take that upon themselves. Obviously, somebody with a little bit of authority told them they better get cleaning.
That looks like they took Summer's mattress and put it outside.
Well, he didn't show that
in my opinion.
He didn't put that in his video, though, did he? The Knoxville News caught that. Joey, you're right. If they love their kids, they would be out looking for her. If that happened to my kids, I damn sure would not be on Facebook. I would be looking until I dropped exactly. What good parent in here would be like, I'm going to go to social media? Of course you're going to put on social media, my daughter's missing, share her missing flyer, everybody share this, but you wouldn't be on there asking for sympathy.
Yeah, what's Dr. Phil going to do? Look for Summer? And he always goes places where he's safe. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He will not be safe with Dr. Phil. He will not be safe with Dr. Phil.
No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is he always does the opposite of what he should be doing to find his daughter. He's avoiding John Walsh, in my opinion. That's the guy he needs to be talking to. And he needs to be talking to the national news media since his daughter was abducted.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but he doesn't.
The national news media hasn't picked up this story. They have not picked it up. They're not going to take a call from him. No. And you're right, Okie. Nothing would be removed from my missing child's room. And I certainly wouldn't let the news anchor and the cameraman from the Knoxville News capture a picture of that damn refrigerator and that mattress. Disgusting. Okay, so go ahead.
I can't, this is my opinion. That mattress came out of that basement.
Oh, yeah. That's
and in my opinion, that was Summer's mattress, in my opinion. Why else would that freaking mattress be there? They didn't carry it down from the junk pile just to lean it and put it back in the house. No, that mattress come out of that basement door. And I put money on that.
Yep. Well, for those who haven't seen the video, we'll get to that in a minute. Because we're going to go through that video again. And I know some people have already seen it. It's definitely worth taking another look at. So back to Don's statement. If they love he spells it almost like Olive, love Summer like they said they would love us because Summer loves us very much. What the hell is he talking about? So we're supposed to love them the way Summer loved them?
Yeah. What a joke. Slap her in the face again, Donnie boy.
Always, always about sympathy for Dawn.
Yep.
And we love our children with all our hearts and try to love everyone all we can. So how do they love everyone all they can? From what I was reading in Facebook comments, supposedly the woman that was at the house last week when he took that creepy video, several people have been trolling Dawn saying, I can't believe you let that woman leave after she'd been drinking at your house. Now, I don't know if the woman was or not.
I wonder if Candace loves her child with brain damage.
That'd be good to know.
Yeah, I wonder if she loves all the kids she's lost, every one of them, except for Summer. In my opinion, it's too late for her, and that's a shame. They don't love nobody. They love to more than likely whip them kids' asses daily, in my opinion. That is just a joke. Why would he even? I mean, it's obvious. You know, and I'm not making up. It's fact that Candace has lost every kid she has ever had because she loves them so much. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hello? Hey, if you guys can still hear me, Brooks lost a signal or something on her computer. I should be there. She is.
I'm right here. I just got to put that back up. Give me a second. I don't know what happened. Like nothing was moving.
You can't control the internet gods.
No, we can't. I gotta put this back up. Just bear with me. You guys are the best. So like I said, it's always about sympathy for them. Always. This really is disturbing. If they love Summer like they say, they would love us because Summer loves us very much.
Yeah, right. In my
don't
opinion, she probably couldn't stand your ass.
Probably.
That's why she loved Candace so much in church. That's why she had her arms around her mom, right? No, she's out running around trying to find attention from other people because she didn't get it at home, in my opinion.
Then he goes on to say, and we love our children with all our hearts, and we try to love everyone all we can. So I had mentioned that, before I had to jump back on. Exactly what do they do for society and the community? I don't know. But I don't think they love everybody with all their hearts by any means. They
Not a chance.
They don't, where are all their friends? Where's the community? You wouldn't be making this about you if you truly loved your children, because in the last almost 4 months, you've lost 4 children. Your daughter vanished or got gone. Your 3 boys are with the state of Tennessee. They're in foster care. No.
Well, Don always flips the script and puts the attention back on them. He always does it. That's all he's doing here. Why don't you answer the obvious questions, Don, Candace?
So then he says, why so much hate? Please stop hating. We're trying to be good parents, good people, good citizens. Please stop hating. We don't hate them. I don't hate them. I want accountability for why this little girl has vanished.
I hate all the shit they did to their kids. That's what I hate. I hate the Summer's missing.
Absolutely hate the actions. Hate that Summer's missing. Absolutely.
Yeah. It seems to me that Candace is full of hate. She's lost every kid she's ever had. Is that a loving parent? I don't think so. I mean, you think about it. That's 6 kids. 6 that have been taken.
I met Marco Scarza when we...
That's absolutely terrible. I don't know of anyone else that's lost 6 kids over the span of how many years? Why ain't she in jail? Why ain't Don in jail? Uh-oh, I think we lost Brooks.
No, I had my mic muted. Dadgummit, I hate when I do that. And I say the smartest things.
Right.
When the mic's muted. No, what I'm saying is, I don't know how they've stayed out of jail. I really don't.
Me either.
He's on probation. Many people called for that welfare check. You can't tell me that his parole officer, he admitted to the behavioral panel that I've done some dumb stuff. I got to drinking and I was doing drugs. How can you admit that? How can you admit that when you're on probation and your daughter is missing?
I just can't believe they're not in jail for child neglect. At the least. And Candace damn sure should be in jail. She's lost 6 kids.
Well, I mean, and not to mention, Candace is the one that has changed her story so many times about what happened that afternoon. Candace was the one that makes sure everybody knows that her eyes were on Summer all day long up until she went missing. First we heard in 10 minutes, then we heard in 2 minutes. We've heard a million different stories.
Yeah, supposedly just her and Grandma were there. Don was at work.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't believe.
No. Anything they say, I raise an eyebrow because none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Nothing. None of it. None of it adds up. None of it makes sense. So let's put this.
What I worry about? What I worry about is, let's just say Don and Candace win on Dr. Phil. All the publicity they're going to get because, and maybe a book even, because most, the people that watch Dr. Phil, I would imagine a lot of them don't even know who Don and Candace Wells are. And they're going to say, oh, I feel so sorry for them parents. Somebody stole their child, done got gone.
And that's what I'm afraid of too. If they really do this show, I don't think that they're going to. I don't think they have the nerve. It's not going to help them at all. That there are so many people that have not heard about Summer Wells that are going to sympathize with these two. Okay, Tiffany's saying it's already been. Welcome, Tiffany. She's saying the show's already been done. So I don't know what. Yeah, she's saying the show's already been done. So I don't know what these messages are where people are being told that they're not on the schedule. I don't know. I've been told wrong.
Well, I'm gonna find out today. Okay. I'm sure Dr. Phil has a website of upcoming shows or something.
Yeah. Well, it's not on there, but I just don't see how it's.
Me either. I don't think that's true. It could be, but in my opinion, I don't think so. Not yet.
Well, I mean,
But
we'll
who
see.
knows?
It's gonna be. It's not going to work out the way they think. Dr. Phil is not going to believe them. And if he does, well, he's going to lose a lot of people. Well, I mean, it's like it's going to bankrupt Dr. Phil, but because you'd have to be a total idiot to believe, especially all of Candace's different stories.
Yeah, they'd be better off on Jerry Springer.
Yeah, you're right. They're professional con artists. Yeah, I don't see them sitting there with Dr. Phil. I hope it happens. I hope it happens because they're going to get called out left and right, and they're not going to be able to handle that. They're not going to be able to handle that.
I could just see him sitting there, Don all slicked up, and Candace with her Mom Patrol shirt on, talking to Dr. Phil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she should wear a hoodie and fall asleep.
I mean, any exposure for Summer is a good thing. A
Right.
very good thing. Very, very, very good thing. And especially something like the Dr. Phil show. I just think it's like Steve is saying, Dr. Phil is going to pick them apart. There's no way he's possibly going to believe them. And especially,
well, in my opinion, I'm sorry, go.
And especially when they start talking about, well, like he did on the behavioral panel, that he got back into drinking and drugs and all that stuff. He's gonna want him in rehab.
I think if Dr. Phil looked at their story and looked at the backstory, I don't think he'd even have him on. But like, I don't know, maybe they already did. I don't think they've been on there yet, but who knows with Don Wells.
Well, let's find out. I mean, at some point they got to put on, their page or whatever that they're going to air this. And it's definitely going to be interesting if they go on there. I fully encourage getting Summer's name out there. Fully encourage it.
Yep.
So for those that missed the video from Friday, you're right, Lovely, playing the prank on the big screen. And they will. They have no shame. They'll sit there right there on national TV and lie. They'll sit right there. She will because she's already done it. She lied to 911 dispatch. She lied to WJHL the day after she called 911 on the 16th. Candace was arguing with people in Facebook comments. I remember one of the story that she gave, that the first one that I read was that she was doing dishes and Summer walked out with no shoes on. She had on gray pants and a purple shirt. Yeah, Candace is happy. Candace she's doing whatever she wants to do. No kids to bother her. Nope. All right, so I'm going to put the video on that we showed on Friday, and we're going to go through it a little bit slower, okay?
Talking about details in the Summer Wells investigation. He hasn't done it yet until now. Her father is also showing us a path he claims, a little used path, he claims a kidnapper used to abduct his daughter and then disappear without a trace.
Our Erica Lunsford walked that trail with Don Wells and sat face-to-face with Sheriff Ronnie Lawson in a WVLT exclusive interview.
Now 114 days after the little girl was reported missing. Erica, you've learned a lot. Tell us more.
That's right. Summer's father tells me he believes the trouble started at the basement door, a door he says her brothers often left unlocked and wide open.
All right, so there we have it again. The brothers left the door unlocked and wide open.
Yep. Why did Kansas say no one in, no one out?
Mm-hmm. And so
And
let's
there he
just
is, throwing the boys under the bus.
And let's just pretend they're telling this BS to Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil's going to say, it's not the kid's responsibility to protect your home. It's not the kid's responsibility, your son's responsibility to watch Summer and to make sure that door's locked.
I done told them boys a million times, kid, watch Summer. No, Don, you watch her.
You watch her. You make sure the door's
Candace.
locked. But hell, when you all pass out at 8 o'clock at night and the kids are allowed to fend for themselves, I'm sure they do forget things that only an adult wouldn't be responsible for. I think they would.
Right. It's not their damn responsibility to watch Summer.
Nope. No, I just hate that he even said that. That, they've left it unlocked many times. Yet we were told that it automatically locks. Who knows?
So we'd get on them a lot, and so you can't do that.
We'd get on to him a lot and tell him you can't do that. So let's look next to the door again. Look at that mattress. This creeps me out so bad that they are so ignorant to their surroundings that they would have a camera crew, an anchor over there, and she has to look at that. I'm glad they focused on that. I'm glad they didn't cut it out. And that's not Dawn and Candace's mattress, because like I said on Friday, they can put their big asses on that. That's one of the kids' mattresses. And it's probably Summer's. I'm just guessing. You know? Yeah, you're right. He's been blaming the boys since day 3. Yep. It does look like a twin mattress. It does. But remember the first time we saw a picture of, quote unquote, her bedroom, I mean, it looked like a pretty nasty mattress and like an old frayed blanket. Absolutely nasty. Absolutely.
But it just, we'd always find it open a lot of times and stuff. So we tried to control that, but to know, they couldn't control it 100% of the time.
Dawn?
Well, what a likely story. What a likely story. You just can't do it 100% of the time. It's not their responsibility to lock up your house. It's not the kid's responsibility to lock up the house.
Hello?
Yep, it's not the kid's responsibility or to keep an eye on if the door is locked or not. No.
Right. Sorry about that. I could see the show going on, but I was talking and you couldn't hear me at all. So I had to leave and I came back. I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, it's okay. It happens. We do a live show. We don't know what's going to happen.
No.
But I mean, who would even have people over and have that monstrosity sitting there? I mean, it gets a little worse, but anyway.
Dawn Wells tells me Summer was last seen going to the basement to play with her toys. Her 3 older brothers upstairs, her mother and grandmother in the yard facing away from the basement door, and Dawn Wells at work.
We don't.
Okay, again. What did Candace say? They were planting flowers. Well, I don't think they were planting flowers. Those were not newly planted flowers or whatever you want to call it. And that they were facing away from the basement door. You would know if someone's on your property. You would know if they were opening a door to get into your house. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. You're just gone. Yeah,
She got
okay.
gone. Like Candace said, 2 minutes later, she was gone. No, so in 2 minutes, you didn't notice anybody on your property. You didn't hear anything rustling around. You didn't hear that door open that supposedly automatically locks and that there's no way in or no way out.
I mean,
Quite the
these
fire.
people-
Okay.
you know, Donnie, these people are just, I don't even know the word. They have a damn refrigerator in the yard for the kids to play with.
Oh, that's coming up.
Who does that? Who does
I mean,
that?
Well, look at this. Who blames their sons for not locking the door?
Don and Candace.
And why do you need the door locked when you're sitting outside planting flowers? And in 2 minutes, how do you even know you're... And I'm just going to assume that the 2 minutes is just slang. I mean, I say things like that all the time. It only just took a couple seconds, just took a couple minutes. It would take a while for you to wrap your mind around that she is truly missing. And between the two adults in the yard pretending, just going along with Candace's story, because I don't believe that's how that went down, and 3 boys inside the house that nobody heard or saw anything. And there's Dawn on there. Well, we've been telling them. She did say the door was locked, Jennifer. She did.
Don't know. if
Yep,
someone
she
was
said.
waiting in the back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she said no one in, no one out. That's what she told Chris McDonough. Which is bullshit.
But here we are almost 4 months later. We've been telling the boys, keep that door locked, gotten onto them a bunch of times. Oh, I bet you did get onto those boys all the time. I bet you did. Hence why you have no children at your house.
Nobody came up on that damn hill and took Summer. Nobody, in my opinion. That
No,
is absolutely a joke.
I was saying
On a
that
dead
too.
end road.
Yeah. Phoenix said, which is ridiculous. What about a fire? So they die in there? Exactly. Exactly. That was the first thing I thought too when she said no one in, no one out. I'm like, is that your fire safety plan? Really? How are you going to get out?
And there's no way an abductor seen Summer in the basement because the windows, you can only see out. You can't see in.
There's too many impossibilities. Way too many.
Yeah, two. Yep.
How would they know that they were home? How would they know where Summer was on the property? She could have been upstairs watching TV. She could have been in the kitchen getting something to eat. She could have been outside playing. She could have been on the swing. She could have been in the bathtub. There's a million places she could have been. She could have been sitting on the couch. Who knows? But they just happen to know where she was? No. Mm-mm.
And I think a big red flag is when Don said the dogs weren't there. How in the hell did he know? He was at work. How did he know them dogs weren't there?
He didn't know. He heard different YouTubers and he reads things on Facebook.
Exactly.
Things on Facebook, people going, the dogs would have been barking. So he's got to say real quick, oh, the dogs weren't there that day.
Yep.
And Dr. Phil says on almost every show of his, I'm a mandated reporter. So what you tell me, I have to report.
I don't believe they're going to go on there, and I don't believe they have been on there.
Well,
That's just my opinion.
I hope they do get on there. I hope they do. And I hope he arranges rehab for them. And while they're in the rehab, they figure out what happened to Summer.
Basement.
I don't think they'd ever go to rehab.
And went to the swing. All we know is she went down the basement.
Wells says he believes someone was lurking at the top of the dog trail, just feet away from the basement door. He says the predator somehow managed to snatch Summer, then raced down the steep hill as she struggled.
I guess you guys want to walk down through here.
How can you race down that hill? Why would you be waiting at the top? None of this makes sense. You can't race down that dog trail.
No, we'll be coming up to it. Watch how hard of a time the reporter has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The trail was not an easy walk. To get down the rugged hill, Wells and I had to hold on to trees. I struggled not to trip or even fall on tree roots.
She's saying it. The reporter is saying it without saying it. This story is BS.
Yep.
She's saying it without saying it.
She sure is. Don just put his own ass on the line by trying to do this video. It blew up in his face again because it's not the truth.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like the reporter was wearing stiletto heels. She had on appropriate footwear. She was hanging onto tree limbs. She was talking about the tree roots and everything. But he just said they had Summer and ran down the hill. You can't. Dawn's not even running down the hill. Dawn's struggling to get down it.
Right. That's a joke. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that an abductor would have had some running, Summer fighting. She's not, and him running down that with Summer, after he parked his car and got it turned around because it's a dead end road. The whole story is bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. I didn't believe it the first time I'd heard it. The very first interview, I don't believe a damn thing any of them say. Nothing.
Well, what I do.
And if I'm wrong, oh well, they're still shitty parents.
Still, how did anyone do this? No.
It's a joke. It's retarded.
Mm-hmm.
I need to slide a little bit.
So the dog kind of came down the trail here.
Yeah.
It's pretty steep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know the dogs even had a trail down through here until the police dogs followed it all the way to the road.
Will says
Stop, Brooks.
Yep.
He's lived there 12 years, and he didn't know that dog trail was there. Red flag, you're a liar. How many times have we got to catch this guy in a freaking lie? My God, he's lived there 12 years, and he did not know that was there. That is bullshit.
Of course,
straight up.
It's where
bullshit.
The dogs come from. It's where the dogs come from. He even said. So you see the dogs coming up there, but you didn't know it was there?
That's bull crap. Like he's never walked around his property in 12 years.
He knew it was there.
So, hell yeah, he knew it was there. He's a liar.
Is he telling on himself? Is he telling on Candace? Because he is sure someone used that trail. So who did it? Who?
Well, see, the thing of it is, Don knows this is so ridiculous that he even showed this because, here's the proof. 12 years and you didn't know it was there. Come on. Yeah, that's common sense. That's a lie. That is a bare-faced lie. Nobody's going to frickin' believe that. Well, some might.
Tim just says, you can't run down that hill. You can't run down that hill.
No.
And then in a minute in the video, he's going to say Summer struggled. So you've got a child kicking and screaming, and you're trying to contain this child, and you run down that hill. Somebody would have tripped. And you certainly would have
Yeah.
heard that. I don't believe for a minute that Candace does not know what went down that day.
Yeah, Don should have just said, "Yep, this is where Summer got abducted and everything." And this dog trail's been here for 12 years, but I never knew it was there. You know, I just figured that had to be where the abductor went. Bullshit, Don. You're a liar. And so is
Yep.
your wife. I don't care. I'm gonna call these people out because straight up, that's a bull crap story and theory. Because that man knew damn good and well that dog trail was there or whatever you want. It's probably a trail the kids. It's just bullshit. It's,
It
you
is.
know, that's sad. You know, here his daughter. You know, I'm not even going to where I think she is and stuff. I'm not even going to go there, but his daughter supposedly got abducted. And if she got abducted, instead of trying to find her, he's doing this kind of shit. You know, to try to prove his lies. Well, you know what, Donnie? You're never going to be able to prove because the truth is the truth. It just doesn't it get your blood boiling? It does
It
mine.
does. It does because it's all nonsense. It's nonsense.
Yeah, well, there's a little 5-year-old girl that deserves justice. He's doing this kind of shit. You know why? Because he's involved. That's why. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing this dog trail video.
He either knows what happened that day or he helped
Yep.
cover it up. There is something
Yep.
going on. Remember, he said he's never going back to prison, and whoever did it, he hopes they don't either. Well, would you not want the abductor to pay for what they've done to your family? Would
Remember,
you
I
not?
told you what I'd like to do to them? Cut off their head and their neck.
Yep,
That's how mad. That's how pissed off I'd be at the abductor.
exactly.
Never heard authorities say search dogs followed Summer's scent down the trail to the road before losing it. He painted a vivid
Okay,
picture.
another lie. Another lie. Another red flag. The summer scent ended in the driveway, Don, not the dog trail. Liar. See what I mean? Constant lying. Summer's scent. Dave Rader said from EquiSearch, Summer's scent ended at the driveway, not the dog trail.
But now
Another red flag.
it also went down the dog trail, and then the dog stopped at the pavement because it's explained that the scent changes when they get to pavement.
Right. Just another lie,
It is.
in my opinion.
And this has been explained to Don. I don't know it for a fact, but I have a hard time believing that no one explained this science to him. Yeah, chances is how can that reporter stand being so close to that monster? It would freak me out to be at that property, to be talking to him, to look at that mattress. I wonder if she went inside to go down that dog trail. And you're right, 120 acres. Summer lived there. Her scent was all over.
If I was a reporter, I would have got fired. I'd lost my job that day because I'd looked at him and said, "You're a bunch of bullshit liar, buddy. What'd you do with your daughter?" I would have lost my job because I would have told that man to go take a flying, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that man. God, yeah. Look at him. I mean, pathetic. They are. You know, and those kids had to live with that bullshit. Those parents.
Can you imagine? I mean,
No.
think about the boys. You know, the boys are in foster care. What the trauma they have been through, what they've seen, what they've been told to cover up, what they've been told to lie about.
We haven't even gone through 20 seconds of this video, and we've already uncovered 2 huge red flags. Not even 20 seconds. We'll just keep going. There'll be more, I'm sure.
Well, I think you found more than that. I think you found more than that, my friend. You're going to have a stroke.
Yeah.
You need anything?
Yeah, I need a little bit of, I'd like to get a little bit of Don's ass whooping.
Okay.
Telling me a
I just,
neighbor
the guy's
likely heard Summer scream.
pathetic.
I go back just a little
Likely
bit.
heard Summer scream.
I think
Vivid picture of a kidnapping. Telling me a neighbor likely heard Summer scream.
I think whoever grabbed her probably had her mouth covered, and I think she was gasping for air by the time she got down through here somewhere.
Oh, man.
Why can he even put that out like that? I think they had her mouth covered and she was likely gasping for air. No.
Yeah, but
No.
but did you notice the tone of, play it back, notice the tone of Don's voice, and then I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
Just
I'm gonna
listen.
replay it. Okay.
For air by the time
Picture yourself saying
somewhere because I think she was gasping for air by the time she got down through here somewhere because our neighbor heard a scream, a really funny scream. I think they just carried her to a vehicle and threw her in there. And
It's very matter of fact. It's like you're talking about what you had for dinner last night. Oh, I think she's gasping
Exactly.
for air. I think she was gasping for air. I think, the neighbor heard a funny scream. And I don't know. I've never heard Jody Sue say it was a
Yeah, and to me,
funny
you could
scream.
tell he was making it up as he was saying it. He had to think about it. And I don't even, he should, if his child was truly abducted, this video shouldn't even be here. He should be out looking, begging the kidnappers or whatever, but no, he's too busy trying to CYA is what he's doing. His whole life is a lie. He's a drug addict, an alcoholic. His whole life is a complete lie. I hope that this haunts him the rest of his freaking life. I really do. Because, oh my God, it's just bullshit. It's lie upon lie upon lie. I can't wait I just pray, I just can't wait till they get arrested.
Well, I mean, this video, this right here, this interview he gave, whether he's talking to other YouTube channels, on the phone with Chris McDonough, the behavior panel or whatever, he has no emotion when he's recalling Summer, recalling the events of the day.
Yeah.
Even this, I would be a bawling mess. I would probably pass out even having to look at that dog trail thinking that someone could have actually gone up there and gotten my child. And I would have had a big problem with my other children in the house after an abduction, quote unquote, happened at my house. No emotion.
How can you talk about an abductor? Your daughter's struggling. Okay, these are Don's words, gasping for breath or air. How can you even say that without getting choked up?
Yeah, having a complete breakdown.
I can't even imagine that.
Complete breakdown.
You're such a fucking liar.
Ridiculous. All right.
It is. When you sit down like we're doing and you just go through these videos and stuff, it's just so obvious if you just, take the time and listen to them and then reflect on them. It's very easy to figure out that he's lying about this whole thing. In my opinion. I have to keep saying that.
That or he's describing how he got her out of the house. Just my opinion.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Maybe he does know she was because he was the one that was holding her mouth. Who knows?
To say, I think she was gasping for air. How would you know that? How could you even have that conversation with someone? It's one thing to show them around the property and let them make their own assumptions. But to sit there and tell what
no, but see, he's
without shedding a tear.
He's got it right. He's got to be graphic and stuff because he has to try to sell this. Well, I ain't buying today, Donnie. I ain't buying your story at all. Ain't going to either.
And what do you always say? The Red Flag store is sold out.
The factory is out of flags. We've only, you want to continue and we'll get some more red flags.
Okay, you got your pen and paper? Or are you doing this from memory, my friend? Okay, all right.
Both.
Making sure you're okay.
Okay.
Sure. Somewhere far away from here.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson has not publicly commented on specifics of the case until now. I asked Sheriff Lawson about Wells' claims. Did dogs follow Summer's scent down the trail to the main road? The sheriff says yes.
The dogs had a pretty good trail, a track for a little while, but then it disappeared. But they lost scent when they come to the road. And sometimes canines, they will lose the scent when it changes different type, where they maybe went from the gravel to the pavement.
And
exactly.
Okay.
John has been told.
There you go.
Before. He's been told this.
Yep.
But he's changing the story. He's going away from what he has been told before.
Yeah. It's just so ridiculous. I mean, there's been so many, I don't even know. There's been so many theories that they have tried to interject into this. Then wasn't some of it said that the abductor came through the trees, the tree trimmers, it's all bullshit. That man, Don Wells, in my opinion, knows exactly what happened to Summer, and he knows where she is, and so does Candace and Granny. Those three people are the clue to finding Summer, in my opinion.
And they keep changing their story. Grandis has told different stories, and we know Candace has changed the story several times.
Like I said, the truth is the truth. The truth stands alone. The truth doesn't get changed constantly. That's another red flag.
Nope.
I'm going to build a red flag factory.
Well, I know.
I'll retire rich.
There you go.
I'll make a lot of money off of red flags for these clowns.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You could make a lot of money just off of one show because there's so many red flags.
Exactly.
So right there, Ronnie Lawson, like him or hate him, I know everyone's got their opinions. You know, he should be doing more, all that stuff. I mean, of course, we're always going to say that because no one has found Summer. But right there, he's calling him out. And he looks pretty damn disgusted, in my opinion.
Oh, Ronnie boy.
Ronnie boy.
I'm sitting here thinking, where could Summer be? Wouldn't it be the craps if she's on that property?
Exactly.
Because they haven't really searched that property yet, have they? I mean, like, really searched it. Wasn't there something to do with a search warrant? I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat knows. I don't know. Summer, in my opinion, she's not on that property, but I don't know. It's just, I just had this feeling that they know, I know, in my opinion, they know where she is, and they also know it's physically impossible to find her. That's my fear.
That's my fear too. But they're very confident. Very well.
I know.
She's not really confident because she doesn't talk to anybody. He's extremely confident. Arrogant.
Yep.
Wants everyone to see things his way.
Did a neighbor hear a scream?
Best I recall, it's been a couple months ago. I think it was unfounded.
Wells tells me the family home on Ben Hill Road is surrounded by drug dealers and buyers.
Oh, here we go.
Surrounded by drug dealers and buyers. Why, Dawn?
Okay.
Come on.
I guarantee you, not everyone that lives around Don Wells is a damn drug addict. In fact, I think that there's couple other creators that are in that area that investigate in that area. I believe it was brought up that there's a lot of good, loving, caring people. I'm not, Don wants to make it sound like he's some, Pope Don Paul in the middle, and everyone around him is a drug dealer and a criminal except for them. No, they're the criminals. He's surrounded by drug dealers. Yeah, okay, Don. Yeah, because everyone else around you is worse than you are. I'm not buying that either.
Ray had a comment. She said, look how long it took them to find Tylee and JJ in the Vallow Daybell case. They were buried in Chad Daybell's yard that whole time.
Yep.
So it's very, very possible. Very possible.
Well, I thought there was something about them not being able to search again on the wells because of a search warrant issue.
How could there be a search warrant issue? You find a judge to sign it
Right.
and say, we're going to go search.
Right. I don't know. But how well has that property been searched? Have they brought in? I still, though, my opinion, Summer's last car ride was in that red Subaru.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
what I
Tiffany
think.
has a point. Tiffany has a point. I was talking to another person over the weekend. They said she could have been moved several times. Summer could have been moved several times over that next week until they found the right place.
Yeah, who knows?
You get all kinds, with the drug trade. We've seen quite a bit of stuff surrounding the meth thing. We had parked in our neighbors caught them parked at our road in our driveway in the middle of the night or early in the morning and stuff like that, and run them off, and they get mad and they raise Cain.
And they get mad and they raise Cain. So to all the good parents in here, how long would you live in a house or an area where you're constantly running off the meth dealers? If there were people in my driveway at all hours of the night, I don't know why they'd be here. Just shady people or whatever. If law enforcement wouldn't get rid of them, I'd move them.
Yeah. And
I'd move.
who has a history of meth abuse on 110 Ben Hill Road? Candace. It's been brought up several times in other groups and stuff about Candace doing meth, especially back when she had her kids taken and the one had brain damage. So, in my opinion, here's Don blaming meth, but yet they're using it, in my opinion.
He didn't run anyone out of the hills.
Hell no.
He didn't run anybody out of the driveway. They'd be there to talk to them. He'd be there to see them. They weren't like, I got to run them off all the time. Got to run them off.
And if he was so concerned about his kids being around that, why didn't he have cameras? Why didn't he put a fence up? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you protect your kids then, Don? If it's that terrible of people coming around and raising hell and doing drugs, why, you know, why didn't you do more to protect your damn kids? Why didn't you move? It's just another bullshit story.
Hang on 1 second. Hey, Justice for Summer, send me an email. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see anything getting deleted.
What is she saying?
Just send me, just check the About tab and send me an email because I don't know what's going on. I don't see it. She's saying that a bunch of comments are getting deleted. I don't see that. All right, so here we go.
We've had quite a bit of problems.
But Sheriff Lawson tells me Wells lives on a quiet street.
I've heard rumors of, you know, there is maybe a drug dealer on that road.
Oh, there we go. There's another red flag.
Ben Hill Road is no different than any other roads in Hawkins, Sullivan, or any other county, as far as even Knox County. We all have drug problems, but no, that's not that problem. That's not correct either.
It's not like a hot spot.
No, it's not a hot spot. And it's a dead end road, so there's very little traffic.
There you go.
Don Wells says he does.
It's a dead
There
end
you
road.
go. Even Ronnie Loss is calling it bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ronnie Lawson might as well have just said, Don, you're a fucking liar.
He's had
It's a
it.
dead end road.
And whether you trust law enforcement or you don't, that's the only hope you have in finding Summer. And he's sitting there saying, that's not the problem. Don running people out of the hills and out of his driveway is not the problem.
It's a dead end road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Abductors I don't believe, in my opinion, they're not going to pick a dead end road to snatch a kid. Because that means they got to pull in, turn their car around, wait for the opportunity moment, know that Summer could be abducted. It's just all bullshit. It's so stupid.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Doesn't know why anyone would take his daughter, but isn't shocked by the disappearance of a child.
There's a lot of missing children.
But Sheriff Lawson says children don't just go missing, especially in Hawkins County.
No, ma'am, we don't have any other missing children.
Well,
And we talked about this on Friday. There was another missing child in Hawkins County, and they found her. Her name was Skyla. She was 16 years old. What's the difference, though? Her parents wanted her found. You're dealing with a different set of parents.
What I'm getting out of this is Ronnie Lawson is really calling Don out. Bullshit. I think Don struck a nerve with old Ronnie boy on this one. In my opinion.
They're trying to get to the bottom of this, and and you've got them on TV, Don on TV, saying things that aren't true.
Right. Yeah, it's fun.
Summer's Hilltop home. Wells showed me a refrigerator he says Summer played on.
I don't know what else she did. What in the world is that?
And
all right, let's talk about the refrigerator. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have an old refrigerator in my yard. It would be hauled off when I got a new refrigerator. I certainly wouldn't let children play around it, play in it, and I wouldn't show
Maybe
it.
Maybe Don was going to make a teeter-totter out of it. Yeah, I'd be interested if Summer, the day that Summer, supposedly the Phantom abductor took her, I wonder if her scent was in that refrigerator.
Oh, I'd love to
I
know.
would just,
I'd love to know
yeah,
everything that they know. I would love to know. But you know,
so would
most
I.
people, when you buy a new fridge, they take the other one away. And even if you go and you dump it yourself, you've got to take the doors off. It's very easy for a
Yeah.
child to suffocate in something like that, or smother.
Why would he even show that refrigerator? Why? I mean, let's think about this for a minute. Why do you think Don made a video and made a point to show someone on Summer's swing, the mattress, and the refrigerator? Okay, no, he didn't. The news reporter did the mattress. But why would Don make a video showing someone on Summer's swing and a refrigerator and say the kid Summer played on it?
This is a
Why
clue.
would he do that?
Okie Mama is saying this is a clue, folks. And why would he be standing outside that refrigerator beating it with a stick? Like he wants to put some emphasis on it. It's just way too odd for me.
Yeah, something. Is he telling us what happened? I don't know because I'm not Don Wells. But I just try to think about there's a reason he showed this stuff. I don't know why he would. I don't know. Something. What do you think, Brooks?
I don't think I would leave abandoned appliances out in my yard, and I wouldn't let my kids play around them. And
Yeah,
if
why would
I was
he?
doing an interview with the news, I wouldn't point out the mess and let them record it.
Yeah, I know, it's awful strange.
But he's famous for for deflecting and putting attention on other things. It's almost like this is a game.
Maybe it is some sick, twisted game that he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that, I don't know. But it just, I mean, their actions are just, it's like they don't give a damn. Because didn't Don realize that this refrigerator is going to bring some heat upon him? So why would he even say that the Summer played on it?
Well, who's been
know.
shooting at it? Look at it. It's got bullet holes in it. Who's been shooting at
Yeah.
it? You sit in the yard and you shoot at it? Look at that. Look at the door. He doesn't shut the door in this video, but you can clearly see bullet holes in that.
It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't put them in there or his boys, shooting the guns or whatever. But it's something that Summer, he left there for her to play on, but yet they shoot at it with a gun. It just crazy. I don't know. That'd be the last damn thing I'd want social media to see.
Or anyone to see. He's not even supposed to have a gun, from my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know.
There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I honestly don't know anyone that would say, Summer would like to play on this. I honestly can't think of one person that would even say that.
Well, this proves he has a gun, because if you're looking at those holes, that's no pellet gun. That's no Red Ryder BB gun. All right?
No.
I'm no ballistics expert, but I'm telling you right now, that's not a BB gun.
Absolutely not. That's a high-powered rifle or a handgun. For sure. I know. I hunted for years. And yeah, those aren't BB gun holes.
I'm counting 1, 2, looks like 5, maybe 6. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe 6.
And we walked to Summer Swing. This is her favorite.
That's her favorite. Yeah, she liked to twirl.
Don Wells is pleading for his daughter's return.
Whoever has her will have mercy. And,
Oh yeah, it really looks like he's
Sheriff
shook up.
Lawson says investigators remain committed to find.
Well, he looks tore up, don't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I don't call that a plead whatsoever. I don't. In my world, that's not pleading for your daughter.
I'm hoping someone has mercy. He doesn't, I shouldn't say ever, he very rarely says her name. Her.
Right.
Young lady.
A beautiful
girl.
woman.
He says these things. Say her name. If there's an abductor out there, continually say her name. Get those flyers. Put flyers all over town. Ridiculous. Yeah, have mercy.
Even
I hope they have mercy. You hope? You hope?
even if Don is guilty and Candace, at least act like you care. At least pretend. Go out and hand flyers out and pretend you care. They can't even do that.
Uh-huh.
They're pathetic. I have not seen one tear from Donald Wells. Have you?
He teared up on the behavioral panel. I haven't ever really caught
No.
any emotion out of him.
Yeah, that's not a damn plea. Whoever has my daughter, come on. It's a little too late. Really.
Finding Summer.
Everyone in Summer's case is still a suspect.
Everyone in Summer's case is still a suspect. So the sheriff can say Summer's name. Why can't the parents? Hold her picture. Show her picture.
And
Recent
everyone,
picture, by the way, not the picture that doesn't look like her. Show her most recent picture.
yeah, everyone's a suspect. Well, in my opinion, everyone is three people.
Yep.
Don, Candace, and Granny. Those are my three everyone.
Well, those were the adults in her life. And the one that had eyes on her all day was her mom.
Yep. Because remember, Don was at work.
Oh, yeah. All day. He works all the time.
I believe that.
All the time. All the time. Just like when he was on the behavioral panel.
Yep.
Now, he's sitting there talking about has to run off all these meth dealers, people out of his driveway, out of the woods and stuff. Run them off all the time. But then he tells the behavioral panel, he's like, I'm at work all the time. I don't know these people. Well, which is it? Do you know them or not?
Yeah, and I thought there was
Don Wells
so
tells
the
me
abductor
he didn't
used the
know
dog trail.
existed until after.
What's that?
So here's Don saying the
He
dog
didn't
trail.
know
Now,
the dog trail.
then, earlier in the case, he said there was some weird man in the yard, right?
Yep.
So how many theories has Don tried to sell altogether, I wonder? Thing of it is, you got the dog trail, the guy in the yard, who brought up Billy the drunk. You know, you have to go back and watch certain videos and stuff, and I can hardly watch and look at his face anymore.
No, and I can't. I'm glad that Candace isn't giving interviews, because the one that I did see, or just hearing her on the phone, gave me the chills, because she was the one in possession of her daughter all day, eyes on her all day, between taking Grandis to the doctor, Walgreens, swimming hole, hippie house, Hunter's house, taking Hunter back, Sonic, back home. She had eyes on her all day long, and all she can come up with is changing stories. Ridiculous.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
It's time we hear from Mandis. It's time she talks. Yep. Need to turn the heat up in her kitchen.
Yep.
She's been a little too damn quiet and hiding, except for her little stunt with Mary. Okay. Then the stunt telling Chris McDonough to fuck off in the background when they were drunk. And then the recliner toilet video, which, in my opinion, was a prank. She was faking it.
Well,
because if that would have been true, man, I think that the paramedics would have took her ass to the emergency room.
Especially if she had a mini stroke, like he said.
Existed
Right.
until after Summer disappeared.
Erica, you've talked to Summer's mother before as well. She was not a part of this story. Where was she when you were doing these interviews?
Candace Bly was at the home during the interview, but she didn't want to talk and she stayed inside.
What about this, Erica? Does the sheriff still believe that the public can help find Summer?
Sheriff Lawson says he wants people in the Beach Creek area to keep looking for signs of Summer, especially pieces of clothing that could still turn up in fields. Investigators also need help finding that red Tacoma truck seen in the area near the time of Summer's disappearance. It has a ladder rack and white buckets in the bed.
Candace didn't want to talk. Candace had other things to do that day besides advocate for her daughter. Figured that was coming. So I really hope they do, Dr. Phil. I really do. I hope that she is on that stage and he catches up with all of her changing stories, her mannerisms, lack of emotion. And they want people around the area. Of course, we talked about this on Friday, but it's got to be reiterated. They want people around the area to look around, their property for clothing.
What does that tell you?
Oh, we know exactly.
It's not an abduction. Yeah. They're looking for a body. They're not looking for an abducted child. That's what it tells me.
No.
So
no.
Think about that for a second.
Thank you. An abducted child, the kidnapper wouldn't take her clothes back and put them on someone's property. That'd be long gone. Long gone. Wouldn't even be in the state, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, and if you think about it, Ronnie, I do got to give him props for one thing. I think Ronnie's calling out Don Wells. Because you got to look at it this way. Ronnie Lawson just said, look for clothing in the fields or whatever. Then he mentioned the dead end road. So basically, he's calling this abduction bullshit. I mean, he's not saying it, but he's doing it, and he's saying it in a way, for sure. He's calling Don Wells out. So that at least gives me some hope that they are working hard to find Summer. I hope they are, because we have to have faith in the TBI and law enforcement.
Oh, we have to.
I know we want answers right away, but
oh, I'd love to have had answers on June 16th. I'd love to have heard that. I mean, look at all the other Amber in the state of Tennessee. The kids come back up. They found them. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Are you having bad storms today?
Yes, we had a terrible storm this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
You
It just rained and it was terrible lightning and wind and yeah.
hang on one second. Jessica wants to come up. We've never heard from her. Hi, Jessica. Your microphone's muted.
Hello.
Hi, Jessica.
Hello. I've never used this before, so I'm brand new.
That's all right.
Welcome.
We'll walk through it. What's going on?
Well, I wasn't really even meaning to come in here, but I did. So, but I will share my feelings. I'm literally about 15 minutes from there where they live, so this is right in my hometown.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want to say too that I literally have saw like 2 or 3 flyers about her, like at gas stations and stuff like that, and that is so heartbreaking. I've tried to hand out things on my own, and I don't even know these people, but extremely sad situation, and it's pathetic. So
good for you getting her out there handing out flyers.
Yes.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Is everyone the way? Okay, Don Wells says everyone that lives around them are drug addicts and criminals. Is that true?
I'll say that probably just as with any town in any place or state, that there's always the, people that are
right,
kind of live in those kind of communities. I'll say that. I'll say that part of that community is a lot of drug activity type of things that go on. Probably a lot of criminals, which is why they probably chose to live where they're at, which is in the middle of nowhere. So they can go unseen. But I also think that I know our law enforcement seems like they're not doing anything or that they're not very smart. But I will say that I feel, if obviously the community knows that those people are living in those areas, we know good and well that the law enforcement does too. So I think it's just rampant with certain drug activities going around here, because it is prevalent around here in certain parts. And depending on where you actually live, it's worse than others. I will say that.
right. It's like, but what I was asking was like, I'm sure there are plenty good people too in that area.
There is. And Kevin, I'm glad that you said that, because there's one thing that I read a lot in chats, and I'll watch different things, and I always catch your all's replays. I'm usually at work, so I don't get to get on here live. But I'll say that, Hawkins County is a fantastic place to live and raise your family, because if it wasn't, I sure as hell wouldn't be here with mine. So, for people to have that stigma about everybody in Hawkins County is the way that Don and Candace Wells are is sad that people think that, and it's absolutely not the way Hawkins County should be reflected.
Thank you.
I am so glad you said that, especially when you said if it's that bad, I wouldn't raise my family here. That's what I was saying earlier about Don and Candace. If it's that bad, why would you live there with little kids? Why would you? I couldn't imagine if I had to keep chasing people off my property or constantly calling the police. It'd be time to go.
Exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous that he would, put that kind of stigma on Hawkins County people. In fact, Don Wells and Candace Wells are the type of people that, we're trying to keep off our property. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I mean, you can say don't judge a book by its cover, but you sure can on this one. So,
there was a question. There was a question for you in chat. A lady wanted to know, is anybody running against Sheriff Lawson? Is he running unopposed? Is anyone challenging him? I know he's up for re-election, I believe, in May. Do you know?
I think there are some people that are running just like they normally do. But I'm not, honestly, I stay away from that kind of thing, though I may get heavily involved in it this time, because I may want to cast my vote in a different direction if in fact somebody is trying to come in that's worth it. So
I would love for you to before you go off panel, to grab our email address, and I'd like to talk to you about a couple things.
Yeah. How do I do that? I'm sorry, I'm brand new to this.
It's okay. Well, I mean, sub the channel, hit the bell for the notifications, and go
Okay.
to About tab, and it's the emails on there.
Okay, gotcha.
What do you have a pen? Do you have a pen and paper on you right now?
I can grab one just 1 second.
All right, let's just give her the email address right now. That'll solve that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go ahead, Brooks. Tell her.
It's CLL72020 at gmail.com.
72020@gmail.com.
Yeah. And no, I didn't. There's no significance to that date. Gmail picked it, and I was like, okay, I can remember that.
Perfect.
Yeah, just shoot us an email. And that way we can get, you don't have to say your email address right now on the live, but
No,
shoot us an email and
No, don't give out your
yeah,
email.
don't. And then we'll shoot you back another email.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate it. Thanks for bringing me up.
Hey,
Oh,
thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. Hey, thanks a lot, Jessica.
No problem. Thank you.
How about Jessica?
So
Yeah,
what
I'd
you
love
think?
to hear from Lo.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Brooks?
I said, what you thinking?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in my head. This talk about the going on Dr. Phil's show. Penny brought this up, and she said she had like credible sources that this happened. And now I don't know if it's going to be used. I don't know that they'd go that far without vetting them to get them, pay for their plane tickets and lodging and meals. But she's trusting her sources, so I guess we'll just have to see on that. And then last night when the interview room came back on, Mary was on there, and she had a theory that she put out there that she had been talking with Jeannie about. And it kind of goes along a little bit with one of my theories. So I thought that was really interesting.
What was it? Because I didn't get a chance to watch it. We were having that tornado. I tried to call you yesterday, and it sounded like maybe you were having bad storms because, like, the voicemail was really different. And I was like, maybe there's something going on down there. So I didn't get a chance to reply to any texts or anything yesterday because we were a little busy with the storms.
Yeah. Well, we had a little bit of interruption. But Mary was talking about this theory of like familial trafficking is the nicest way I can put it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that went wrong. Maybe they had done this before and she always was returned. And this time she didn't come back. Maybe that shed that he ran to, he went there to look and see, make sure that Summer hadn't been dropped off.
So, in other words, they're saying that Summer was like rented out
Yeah.
for sex trafficking, you mean?
Yeah.
Or not trap? Yeah. Well, that's a
Yeah.
disturbing thought.
And then, my other theory was, Candace has a really bad temper. And she could have had one of her blow up fits and maybe did something that was fatal to Summer, and they're covering that up. So those are my two theories, and Mary hit on one of them. So that's all,
In my opinion, that second theory of yours is a good one.
That's always been mine. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear the history that she's had with her older children, the stories. I mean, she's lost the boys. Summer's gone. I mean, and she has a very violent temper.
Right.
Why Dawn is covering for her, I don't know. I mean, I think about the Gannon Staunch case. I mean, Al was side-eyeing Letitia when he got home. Something about her story made no sense. It was not adding up. He distanced himself from her, I mean, very early on. Whereas Dawn is like, no, she's tore up. She's tore up. She's tore up. She loved those kids more than anything.
Yeah, but then we have the prank call to Mary, and really listening to her, I really believed she was upset until I verified everything. I believed I mean, she was pretty good at acting, wouldn't you say?
Very good. That's why I kept saying the Emmy goes too. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe all that. Mary, they took Donnie. And there's Mary. You know, what is it, 10 o'clock
They
at
have
night?
it. They ought to act and pretend like they're a piece of shit because that's what they are. You know, in my opinion,
it's just
I think
there's
Candace was very capable of doing something horrid.
but then, Don's there throwing out so many red herrings and everyone under the bus that he can possibly think of to throw under there. That bus ought to be jacked up about 20 foot in the air right now.
It should be, because he's blaming any name he can get a hold of. And if he does do Dr. Phil, I don't know if anyone's clued him in yet or not. Unless I heard wrong, Chris McDonough has been on Dr. Phil before. So if he gets on there talking about Chris McDonough, I have a feeling he's going to get called out pretty quick.
Well, Dr. Phil doesn't tolerate the kind of stuff that Don and Candace have pulled. And, I just can't see him not just tearing into them up one side and down the other.
He doesn't pity fools. He doesn't. No. But he will talk about how he's a mandated reporter. He says it like on every show. And he's definitely going to suggest rehab to him.
Oh, yeah.
They can't get on there and act like that they're living this straight and normal life. He does have producers that do a lot of research. I hope they do go on the show. I don't care if they write a book. I don't care about any of the stuff that people are like, oh, they're doing it for this. They're doing it for that. Eyes on Summer. This is going to put eyes on Summer. There's going to be some people that feel bad for Don and Candace, and they're going to believe the abduction theory because they don't want to wrap their minds around that parents do these things.
Right.
But there's going to be
you're right.
There's going to be a lot more people with common sense that are going to say, these two did something. One of the two of them.
Yeah, it's one thing to realize that there's children trafficked out there in this world, but then to come around and realize that the very people who are supposed to love and protect them, the parents, would do something like that. It's just beyond the pale.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, Brooks. This would help Summer tremendously, more than likely.
Absolutely. Anytime someone's talking about Summer, if it's truly about Summer, if it's about helping Don and Candace, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, they're still talking about Summer, I guess, in a way. I know a lot of flack was thrown, not really in this community. I just saw some things that were a little, I didn't really like it. Talking about Ryan Upchurch. He got over 100,000 views talking about Summer. That can't be a bad thing.
No.
That can't be a bad thing. Let them go show their true colors. Let them do it.
Yeah, any nationwide attention is great for Summer. No matter.
That's why, and that's why I don't think they'll be on there. That's just my opinion. Maybe they already, like you say, maybe they already have. But in my opinion, I don't think that Don and Candace want national attention. Maybe they do.
He's been really busy trying to save face the last couple of weeks. The interview last Tuesday with WJHL, the one with the Knoxville News, the behavioral panel, after the whole sitting on the toilet stunt, he's really been trying to save face. The screenshot that I read today, where he's basically saying, we've tried to be good parents. We've tried to be good parents. You can't undo what we've already seen. And you can't say we're trying to be good people now. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Yeah, you can't unsee what we've seen. You just can't.
No, God, no.
Yeah,
God, no.
I
Oh,
would
the
love that question to be asked to Candace. Why have all your kids been taken away? Why? I want to know that. I would love to hear that answer. And I just, how can you even make up a story when, see, her having all her kids taken away is a fact. It's not a rumor. It's a fact. How can you defend that?
Yeah, and then there's one missing.
Right. And your sister's missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your mom has a missing child, Grandis, and now Candace, you have a missing child. Huh.
Yeah. And
Lightning does not strike twice in the same place, but lightning has struck this family in the same place. 2 missing people, 2 missing daughters, 5 kids removed that are Candace's and are in state care. No.
and Summer's missing, and there could be a 7th one, right?
Well, yeah, we don't know that.
Right. I know that.
That's one of the rumors that was going around, that she had another child since summer. But,
Yeah.
Who
we
knows, right?
Who knows?
Right.
Who knows in this shit show? Who knows? And if she did have another child and put it up for adoption, it's the only right thing she's ever done.
Yes. That's for sure.
Yeah. It just, what really, really bothers me the most about Summer is she was only 5 years old, but in my opinion, her 5 years on Earth were not what a child should have. She didn't
No.
have the love, the affection. I mean, this is my opinion. And she didn't have all those little things that kids should have.
No, not at all.
No,
Well,
she didn't.
Yeah. What really struck me about Summer is that, some children are just born with this really loving, giving persona. And that's the way she was. And she wanted that back. That was in her heart to give. She wanted love, and she gave love. And it just melted me from the very beginning. I could just read her, and it made my heart ache for her. She just wanted love so much.
I don't think Don and Candace ever expected this to blow up like it did.
No, not at all.
I think it'll just be swept under the rug. Another missing kid, no big deal, Well, guess what? That backfired in their face.
Yeah, I don't believe they ever dreamed that it would come to this. They thought it would just go away and people would forget. Well, we're not going to forget. I mean, there's a whole bunch of us out here. We call ourselves Summer's Army, because this is what we're united by. We don't care if we don't agree on everything about other things, but we are 100% for Summer on this.
Exactly. There's only one side, and that's Summer's side. You can have different theories, different opinions of what happened. There's people that are like, the parents had nothing to do with it. There's some that are like, nope, it's all Dawn. Some, nope, it's all Candace. Then it's people in the church. All of that aside, we won't know. We won't know for a while, it seems like. There's one side, and that's Summer's side.
Right.
But there's the one thing that I want to say to everyone is that don't think that I wake up every day and just want to pick on Don and Candace. Just that I want to wake up and be an asshole and give my opinions. But I will not quit until that little girl gets justice. I will not shut my mouth. So that's just because it's not fun. every day talking about these two pathetic individuals that were her parents. You know, it gets old after a while, you know, but we have to keep exposing them for who they truly are. And we have to keep Summer's name fresh in the minds of everyone so she doesn't fall through the cracks of a cold case.
Yes. Yeah, I wake up every morning. The first thing I do is go see if there's any news that Summer has been found, one way or the other. She deserves justice for what's been done to her.
She does. So many kids do, but you can't cover them all in depth. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of missing kids, you know, and it seems sometimes unfair to talk just about Summer when but the thing of it is, in my opinion, these damn parents can't get away with this. This is bull crap.
Well, maybe Summer is the wake-up call. You know?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Summer's the wake-up call for their family, definitely. And hopefully it's the wake-up call for if it becomes national news and she's talked about more and more, it's a wake-up call for other families, other communities, other people that see things and don't say anything.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Don't you think that Don Wells knows that if he goes on Dr. Phil, this is going to explode?
Of course it will.
So why is he doing it?
He's trying to save face. He's been listening to people saying, why don't you go on Dr. Phil like the Petito family? Why don't you go to the national news? Why don't you talk to the local media? I mean, I know on this show, not saying that he watches this show, on this show several times we're like, the local media is offering you an interview. Why don't you do it? 3 days later,
well, I know
he's on there.
I know he watches this show because he's made comments about us.
Yeah.
You know? But he made comments when him and Benny, I hate to say the guy's name, but, you know, it's a fact. Him and Benny, Don addressed Kevin and was it Doug? It was me and somebody else. Yeah, Kevin and Doug.
Yeah.
Don addressed us. I know damn good and well he listened.
Yeah. But you know, he thinks he can pull the wool over everyone's eyes because he's conned people all his life. Look how he's gaslighted his father. He's conned so many people. Well, I'm just a good guy. I was raised in jail. Oh, oh my God. Give me a break.
You're right. It's one pity party after another. It's one more feel bad for me story.
One more slap to Summer's face, in my opinion.
Yep.
That man listen, they've lost, Candace has lost, all them kids. Why? Because she's a loving mom? I don't think so, folks.
No.
Just look at her past, and that'll tell you right there. That's enough. For me in my world, you lose 6 kids, your ass should be in jail for neglect, at the least.
Well, there's been people arrested for less than that.
Right. So why hasn't she? Has she just been lucky?
It seems like it. It seems like it, but I tell you who's not lucky, her children.
No, they're not. Bless their
Right.
hearts.
Her children certainly did not have her luck. And Tracy, you're right. They're not going to con Dr. Phil. They're not going to.
Not a chance.
Nope.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if he would take this case. I don't know. With the backstory.
A lot of people are saying that they've already been filmed. Now, I mean, I know some people messaged the Dr. Phil page and they, got a response back. Then every one of them was like the exact same cookie cutter response that they're not on the schedule. Now there was a different one I saw, and it just said something about they're getting ready to go into reruns or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I was just gonna look right now, but I can't, and see if they are on an upcoming show, or
Yeah,
if
it's not
there's
on.
anything about.
It's not. I mean,
Oh.
as of this morning, it wasn't on his website and it wasn't on his Facebook page. So I don't know. I hope they do. That's all I'm going to say. I hope they do. I hope
Yeah.
they do. Because he gets millions of viewers.
Because
And
I'll be shocked.
That's going to have more people talking about Summer.
I'll be shocked if they are on there because of that fact, the attention that's going to draw. Because Don always tries to control the narrative, but if he goes on Dr. Phil, he just lost control. One bad. I hope so. I hope they're exposed to the whole United States and the whole world.
All right, Savannah's
Can you imagine being Dr. Phil? You could have a heyday with them.
Oh, his face will fall off. Well, actually, nothing shocks him, but he's going to call a spade a spade. It's not going to be what they're looking for. Hey, Savannah, what's going on?
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, it's so nice to hear everyone's voices. And I just would like to say a few things if possible. I just feel like it's really important to address certain, details regarding Summer. And basically, what we see in photos is telling us what happened to her. The hair coloring. I just want to say one thing, and I'm sorry. I don't know if it's going to be like kind of triggering or not, maybe to some, and I'm sorry, but there was a woman that went on to a live last night, and she came out and told her story, and she explained how she was a child and how she was taken on a bus and taken to places where she was sold for what.
Mm-hmm.
And she explained in detail. It was absolutely horrific to listen to, but it's real and it's the truth, and it's I believe it should be talked about because it's important.
Well, and that is important, and that does need to be talked about more. Children being trafficked. I don't see that being the story here. Her mother was with her all day long. Her grandmother. There was 2 adults at the house.
Okay.
And there was 3 big brothers.
Okay. It's hard to tell others about what you heard of someone else say, and I wish you were able to hear how that lady explained it. And each phase of it, the colors represents a stage. And she said that the hair shaving is the last stage. And in one day, a child can be sold multiple times a day. And she said that, Summer could be alive, and because they see her as, why, they see it as, like, how do I explain it? Like, because they will be able to receive more for a child in multiple times a day than, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I know, like I said, it's hard to like explain what you heard from someone else say, but she explained in detail what she went through. And
that is awful for her. That's absolutely awful for her that she had to go through that in her childhood.
Everything she said, I kid you not, is almost to a T about Summer. And I'm just, this is my opinion. I'm sorry, everyone, this is my opinion, but it's important. And there is people being protected. And I do want to say one thing, and I hope no one in here will judge me for this or get mad at me. But, you know, she did say that they use the church, and she said that some of them have like underground tunnels where there's a lot of bad things that happen down there. And I would just prefer you to listen to it yourselves, but I just want it to be put out there because I feel like it's not being talked about, you know, and I feel like
Well, I
it's
mean,
extremely
actually,
important because the evidence is in photos.
It has
you
been
know.
talked about. There's tons of theories going around. People have talked about trafficking. I don't like the accusations against the church personally.
Well, I'm not saying it's that church. I'm just saying what she related to her story, that she went through that. You know,
Yeah,
that's
and
what
that's-
she
and
went
that's
through,
awful, and
and
that's awful
she
for her.
went through a church, and they had the underground. You know, that was her story, and she said everything. You know, that she's been following Summer, and she just felt like it was important to come out, and she was extremely brave for that. And
Absolutely,
I would never be able to do that. You know.
Especially telling her own story like that, telling a
Yeah,
personal story.
she
is very,
cried,
very
and I cried. It's bad. What's happening to our children, and I believe that anyone with a platform is extremely lucky, because anyone with a platform has a voice where you can make a difference. And if we all stood up for the children, imagine how different the world would be. You know, if we all just tried our best each day to try and make a difference.
That is
Instead
exactly
of, like,
what we're doing.
well, yeah, but there's more to it, you know. It's I don't think that a lot of people understand how bad it really, really is, because I asked her a question and I said, well, don't you think, I can't remember exactly how I asked her it, but I said, well, don't you think, you know, the FBI or something, you know, like the higher ups will help in any way? And she's basically saying that, like, they're not going to help because too much money is involved with children. It's really bad.
So
I can't
basically,
express that enough. I want people to really, really, really just understand that
Right.
aspect of it, you know, and everything from the parents is in the messages that they provide for us, details that they say, photos, everything. The evidence is right in front of our eyes. You just have to be able to, you know, fully see it
like the
and
fact
believe
that
it.
CPS got involved shortly before this. You know, there's a lot of things. What do you think? What, Big Eyes?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on like that. I don't know how the connections work or anything.
It's
and
awful.
This is kind of off the path here because we're talking about Summer, but the young lady that was put in a cage up in Missouri, they had pictures of her on the dark web. Cassidy Rainwater, and now
I'd like to put Donnie Candace in a cage.
You know.
I heard about that. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So there's things out there that are going on that we can't even fathom. I could never have dreamed that someone would be captured and put in a cage, but that happened. I mean, when they arrested those two guys, the accomplice admitted that he helped the other guy, Phelps, restrain her to put her in the cage. I mean, what are people thinking, you know? And everything, a lot of the cases I look at and explore, it all goes back to one thing: drugs. It goes back to drugs.
Well, I mean, they anyone that doesn't have empathy for others and does what's been done in this case, it's a multitude of things. I mean, these are morally bankrupt people.
I know, and you know, little children recently that I've covered that were killed because the parent or the babysitter or whatever was on drugs, and they just decided to just beat them to death or something. You know, it's so crazy. Oh, don't get me started.
Well, it's like
I think
talking about with Brantley Welford. You know, the stepfather or mom's boyfriend or whatever was a Savannah, you muted yourself. You can talk.
I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. I didn't know if I had pushed a button. I'm so sorry about that.
But it's like that case I've been talking about with Brantley Welford, and you know, the stepfather, mom's boyfriend or whatever, is a truck driver, and he said he's playing with him in the bunk, and next thing you know, he's life flighted with multiple broken bones and rectal bleeding. So yeah, we've got to do better for our children. Period.
So basically, Savannah, your opinion is that Summer was involved in some type of a sex trade.
It's a very good possibility, because I mean, how this woman explained in detail about the coloring, you know, it's not hair dye, it's gelatin, you know, and they colored the children's hair in the stages of, there's I guess 4 different stages, and the hair shaving is the last stage. And yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Kids are kids, man.
Well, I just don't think Dawn and Candace are smart enough to pull all that off.
Me either.
I'm talking about Summer, you know, and we've had, you know, lots of shows about the horrific things that happen to children. I mean, a couple that were really hard to get through. I just really think it comes down to Dawn and Candace, one or the other. I mean, Candace had eyes on her all day. And then, like I said, that's just my opinion. It's very easy to put fingers all over the county, but who was with her all day long? If she had been left with a babysitter all day, I'd be going, the babysitter did this. Nobody crawled in the window, you know?
Yeah,
I agree.
Can I say something really fast?
Absolutely not. No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh, let's let What Big Eyes finish her statement.
Oh, sure.
Oh, well, I was just, never mind. Go ahead, Savannah.
Okay. I just wanted to point out as well, and it should be, you know, not ignored, that when the woman was speaking, you know, there was people in the chat saying, hey, you know, be careful, it might get flagged. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, why would that be a possibility of a video getting flagged when we're talking about children and what actually happens? You know, that really did bother me, you know, that would even be an issue, because I think that what's on YouTube now and what children have access to as far as what they can view on there is worse than anything, you know. And so with that being said, that, you know, it's all about money, and, you know, it's there's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of crazy.
They've been doing it for a long time. And even there was an article that I was reading, and you actually have to pay to even view this website. So I would go in to the website before it would load out and try and take screenshots as fast as I could. And it was talking about someone coming out, trying to reach out to, I guess, Apple, you know, the iPhone and stuff like that, regarding all the ways that the videos and pictures of children are being passed along, and it being okay. And I guess it was like 65 billion pictures of children, and it's really bad. I couldn't believe I saw that, you know. But it's good that people are bringing it to attention, because it's being just kind of pushed under the rug. And if you are a parent and you have children, you know, could you imagine your own child going through that, you know, being used for someone's for their own pleasure. Could you imagine that?
I wouldn't
You
let
know?
it happen. I wouldn't let it happen. That
I
would
mean,
that would never happen in my house. If my child was
Yeah,
kidnapped, that'd be different. I mean, I'd be on the news all the time. I wouldn't quit. I'd be like Morgan Nick's mother. I'd be like JC Dugard's mother. I'd be like the Smart family.
yes.
The Petitos. No way would I allow that. I couldn't.
You're absolutely right. You are, gosh, you're spot on. And I want to make another very important point to everyone listening. You know, we can view Don, and we already know that this is his lifestyle. You know, he's been doing this for, not what I'm talking about in general, but just his, you know, childhood from when he was younger to, you know, the SA and being in jail throughout his teens and his record of criminal activity for years on end. You know, that's his lifestyle, and Candace's as well. And when you have children, that's going to reflect on their future and what could happen to them. So the answers of what happened to Summer lies with Don and Candace and who they associated themselves with, you know.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying.
They can blame it on an abduction all day long, and these made up stories. It's just made that to put there in front of everyone to take the focus off of Summer and what's really happening. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yes.
It's to keep everyone busy all day long talking about these new posts, the news articles. It's to keep everyone distracted about what's really happening right now to a child.
I've been saying that for 4 months.
It's for a reason. And nobody wants to talk about it. Everyone is afraid. But, you know, what is this world coming to, you know?
I'm not afraid. We talk about it every single day. We've been talking about it since June 16th. Nope, not afraid at all.
Yep.
Not afraid at all. But what Don does want is for more people to talk about abduction, trafficking, cartel, all of these things. He does not want the focus on their household. He does not want that. He wants people to talk about police corruption. He
Absolutely.
wants to talk about, like I said, the Mexican cartel. I mean, Allie, Hunter, that he wants that. So when we're talking about Summer, if we take the focus off of that property, that household, Candace was with her all day, that really makes certain people happy because they feel like the focus is coming off of them. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
When it's about what they did, how they engaged in certain ways that has caused this to happen. And we have to find out what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that there's only two paths of life, and it's either you take the light or you take the dark. And right now we're dealing with the dark, and it's bad.
Yeah.
I really wish people would open their eyes to reality. You know, I mean, think about that Carly Trent girl that was abducted, and you know what happened to her by that man. What, I'm not going to say it, you know, but the reward fund was then distributed back into the community. So with that being said, that child's innocence was stolen from her, and she was violated for someone's gain. You know what I mean? So the money went back into the community so it could just keep going and going, and it could just be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You know, they use children to make money, in my opinion. And I think it's been going on for a really long time. And I believe that with all my heart, forever, I will do my best to speak for children because they deserve it more than anything right now. You know, I will always speak truth about everything. And I hope people can just open your eyes when you see photos and you see these news articles or the videos or the comments that are made. You know, there's details in there that go along with what's going on. And
we discuss it every day. I mean,
Yeah.
almost every day. I mean, sometimes we talk about other cases, and I need to talk about other cases more. In all honesty, I need to, even it out more. But yeah, we talk. I mean, we talk about it every day. I mean, sometimes we take old interviews or old news clips from months ago, and we go back
yeah.
and do it again because other things are in there that I missed before. But I
Yeah, there's
appreciate you coming
messages.
up, Savannah.
Yeah. There's messages there. Just everyone, you use your God-given eyes and your minds to put it all together, because the evidence is in the photos. It's there.
You're exactly right. Thank you for coming up, Savannah.
Thank you so much.
Love having
Y'all
you
take
around.
care.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, if you look in that area, like in a 2 or 3 mile radius around Ben Hill Road, there are registered offenders, and a lot of them are, children under the age of 12. And then there's others in the community that enable those people who are not supposed to have access to the internet, and they provide them with a way to do that. And that's a condition of their release, that they're not supposed to even get on the internet. So, that's been attested to, and I trust the person that said it because they're in a family and they knew it, what was happening. So, there's just a lot of possibilities that could have happened there with Summer, but we have to keep on till we find the answers.
Yep, and we got to keep the faith, and we have to, be patient with law enforcement. We just, it's really hard. It's really, really hard because we're sitting here looking at this going, there's got to be something you can do.
Well, the thing is, we have to be patient because we're not going to give up. That's part of being patient. But we also have to hold their feet to the fire and doing something. Because, the minute they get something to where they could maybe get a certain person hauled in and detained for a certain amount of time on some other charge. Look what they did with Brian Laundrie. He's wanted for bank fraud. And so there's a federal warrant out for him. They can do that much. But the thing is, if you get that person who is on drugs and alcohol and get them dried out, chances are they'll start cracking.
Yep, and they'll start talking to other inmates.
Yep.
I always think about Sullivan County, the way that they grabbed Megan Boswell, for lying to police. Well, I mean, I think it's safe to say that our jails would be stockpiled. It'd be like sardines if people were in there for lying to the police. But they got her on that. That's why I'm just like, there's got to be something. There's got to be something.
Right. Exactly. Well, what happened to Kevin? Did he fall off in a crevice?
I don't know. And I just texted him. I said, where'd you go, my friend? Where'd you go? I don't know what happened. He's been having issues with his Wi-Fi and stuff. So hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah, he said that. Ever since he had that tornado up there, he's having trouble.
Yeah, well, knock on wood. I hope after the tornadoes we had last night, that doesn't happen to me. I'm surprised that the electricity's still on. I've been an anxious mess all morning. I'm like, it's going to start flickering any minute. Any minute. But on that note, guys, I'm going to start shutting this down. Kept you guys for almost 2.5 hours. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I mean, we do have the best chat. Wonderful mods. If you guys have any questions, concerns, anything, I love getting your emails. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get back to you, and that's not intentional, trust me, but I always get back to you. Just check out the About tab and send me an email, because for some reason I'm not getting my messages on Facebook. It'll show I have 6 and I opened up and there's nothing there. So send me an email. If anybody wants to join the Discord, we have a lot of fun in there. Great conversation, great chat. There's a lot of different rooms. It's not just all about summer. There's a lot of other stuff going on in there. So send me an email and we'll get a link to you. And always, thanks What Big Eyes for popping in. Savannah, thanks for telling us hi. Now we gotta, I don't know, now we gotta go find out where our friend Kevin went.
Yep. Have to go
All right,
send him
guys.
a text.
I know.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.